Hey, how's it going? And welcome to my pick of the top 10 winter update Wonderkids that you must sign on FootballManager 2024. So up in this list here today, got some very familiar names to talk about, but also some not so familiar names. And also, I've decided to give the list a little bit of some variety here, not just going with forward players in the top 10. Got a couple of goalkeepers to talk about here, a couple of great goalkeepers, of course. Also got some good defenders and, of course, some great forward players to talk of as well. Also, this list is not purely the top 10 biggest potential players under the age of 20 in FootballManager. Otherwise, we have a list of players such as Pedri, Gavi, Bellingham and Lamine Yamal. And those are four players that you're unlikely to sign in FootballManager, to tell you the truth, depending on what team you are, of course. So in this list is a top 10, of my opinion only, of players you can sign in FootballManager. Also, most of the players as well are relatively cheap. So without further ado, let's get started with the list then. Let's get started with number 10. Number 10 on this list is a Portuguese winger called Afonso Morera. He starts off with manager at only 18 years of age. As you can see here, he's got some versatility as well. Can play on the left-hand side and the right-hand side naturally. But he also can be trained very successfully as an attacking midfielder as well. He starts off at Gil Vicente or Gil Vicente, on loan from Sporting Lisbon. We know how good their youth intake is, producing players like Cristiano Ronaldo in the past. So he's not quite Cristiano Ronaldo level player potential, but he definitely has got a very high ceiling. And the great news about him is you won't be able to sign him straight away because, of course, he's out on loan. But once he goes back to Sporting Lisbon, you should be able to sign him for less than £10 million. And he has the potential to be a world-class player in the future. He might not look it as of yet, but, of course, he's only 18 years of age. Also in this list here today, make sure you look out for the players in the future. Well, they're almost at their max potential, to give you a rough idea of how good these players can become. Of course, everyone's results will be different, of course, and it also depends on how you develop these young players. You need to make sure you give them plenty of game time, and if not, make sure you loan them out to a team that will give them plenty of game time and with great facilities as well. So number 10 on the list is Afonso Morera, who can play in any of the forward positions on the left or the right hand side. Currently plays for Sporting Lisbon, but he's on loan at Gil Vicente. Number 9 on the list is a more familiar name, and that is Kareem Canate. He currently plays for Red Bull Salzburg. He's 19 years of age. Different to Morera there, he's got no versatility at all. He's purely a striker, as you can see there. No room for training anywhere else, although it can be done, of course. He's already got 8 caps for Ivory Coast at the ripe old age of 19. Hasn't scored a goal as of yet, but I'm sure that will change very quickly in the future. He's a great pressing forward style player. He's got great pace, as you can see there, with 17 acceleration. And of course, he is still developing. Also, he currently plays for Red Bull Salzburg, a team who are very well known for producing very, very great strikers, such as Erling Haaland and Benjamin Sesko, both in the last 5 years. So Canate definitely has a very, very high ceiling. Of course, his versatility is a bit of a problem, has to be said, but he's also got the potential to be a world-class player. He's going to cost a little bit more than Morera, but the great news about Canate is you'll be able to get him for less than £20 million, hopefully. So he is a player that you really need to sign as well. Kareem Canate, only 19 years of age, currently playing for Red Bull Salzburg. Number 8 on the list is a Brazilian player called Savio. He's also 19 years of age. He's uncapped for Brazil, but that's completely understandable due to the great national team they've got. He has got great versatility though. As you can see, he can play naturally on the left and the right, but he can also play left midfield or right midfield, attacking midfield and striker as well if needed. He currently plays for Troy, who play in the French League. An interesting fact about them, they're actually a sister club of Man City, so he probably could be going there in real life in the future. We shall see about that. He's actually on loan at Girona for the season though, who are another sister club of Man City, so you can see the trend going on here. But the good news is he's not at Man City yet, so as long as you go in quickly, you should be able to sign him. Of course, he's on loan for the season at Girona, so you won't be able to sign him straight away. But come end of the season, hopefully he might be interested in joining you, whatever club you are. He currently plays for Troy, so it shouldn't be too hard to pry him away from there. He's obviously a great potential player. He's got great attributes for a winger, as you can see here. He already looks like a very good player, to be honest. He can slot into most teams in the Premier League already, I'd say. 17 dribbling, 17 flair as well. Great pace, 16 technique. He's got the Brazilian flair about him, that 17 flair. How good he'll become is, of course, completely down to you and your development. So but the ceiling is very high for him as well. And also the great news about Savio is you should be able to sign him for less than £15 million. Number 7 on the list is actually a right back, the only defender in this top 10 Wonderkid list. He can play right back, as you can see. He can also play right wing back and right midfield if needed. But also, great thing about him is he can actually be trained up as a left back as well very comfortably. So that is great for him. He's 18 years of age, about to turn 19. He is Italian, no caps as of yet. He is actually the most expensive player in the Wonderkid list here. He's one of the best potential right backs on the game, so he could have been higher up in the list, but the fact that he's going to cost you around £35 million is the reason why he's at number 7. But £35 million, of course, is a lot of money, but he's one of the best potential right backs in the game, so he's a player that is a must sign, that is for sure. He should be taking that the right back spot for Italy in the future, taking over from Di Lorenzo, of course. And as you can see here, he's a very well-rounded player, very good mentally and physically. He's also very good technically as well, so you can see the potential is very high for Coyote. Number 6 in the list here is actually our first goalkeeper to talk of, and his name is Guillaume Restes. He's quite a familiar name for manager these days. 18 years of age, French goalkeeper, currently playing for Toulouse, and he is a very, very high potential goalkeeper. Arguably the biggest potential goalkeeper on the game, although there's one more to come in this list, who I think could be a little bit better than Restes, but it's definitely up for debate. He's already the first choice goalkeeper for Toulouse, so he's going to get plenty of game time for them. A team who have got very good facilities as well, so he's definitely going to develop very nicely playing for Toulouse. But if you want to sign him yourself, you should be able to get him for £25 million or less. Of course, being a goalkeeper, very important for them to get game time to develop. So you could leave him at Toulouse for a couple of seasons or so, then go in for him, or you could sign him and loan him out to another team to get him some development. It doesn't look as good as of yet. I don't think he'll be a starting goalkeeper for any Premier League club or any big club of that matter, to be honest. But in the future, he can turn out to be one of the best goalkeepers in the game, if not the best goalkeeper in the game. Number 5 in the list is a very exciting player, another very familiar name. His name is Afonso Drago, currently playing for Schalke. He's only 17 years of age. He is very versatile. Naturally a centre midfielder, can play attacking midfield, can play DM, play on the right wing and the left wing as well. He has got a very, very high ceiling. And the great news about Drago is, due to Schalke having such big financial problems, he's actually got a minimum fee release clause of just £8.6 million. So you can sign him straight away for £8.6 million from Schalke, and he has got a massive ceiling to talk of. He's a very, very well-rounded centre midfielder to have. Not the best defensively, but he can definitely play as a DM in some sort of attacking DM role, like a Segundo Volante, for example. But in the future, he could turn out to be a world-class player, one of the best midfielders in the game, and you can only sign him for only £8.6 million. Number 4 on the list is not such a familiar name, I'd say, and his name is Franco Mastantuono. I've definitely butchered his name there, that is for sure. We just call him Franco for now, and he's also the youngest player in the list as well. He starts off at only 15 years of age. He does turn 16 in August, so he does turn 16 before the start of the season, but only 15 years of age. He is a forward player, as you can see here. Can play on the right, can play on the left, naturally attacking midfielder. Can also play up front, left midfield, or right midfield as well. So a very high ceiling for him. Man City have just signed River Plate's big potential in Claudio Echeverri, but they've got another one coming through just a couple of years younger than him in Mastantuono, and he really looks like a very, very good player. Technically, he's very good. Got great flair as well, 17 flair. Physically, looks like he's going to be a very good player in the future as well. So the ceiling is very high for Mastantuono. As soon as he plays for River Plate, if you're playing with a European club, I don't think he can join your club till he's 18 years of age, but that is no bother. River Plate have an outstanding youth system, also got great facilities as well. So yeah, very exciting player, Mastantuono. You can also sign him for as cheap as £6 million, so an absolute must signing, Franco Mastantuono. Number 3 on the list is another very, very familiar name. That is Geraldo, who currently plays for Ajax, of course. Only 17 years of age, but he's a first team regular for them in real life. The great news about him is he's very versatile. He's a left-sided centre-back, but he can also play left-back as well. He plays for Ajax, a team who've got amazing facilities, so he's going to get great development there. And he's also a very well-rounded centre-back, has to be said. Physically, he's good. Mentally, he's good. Defensively, he's good as well. Technically, he's very good as well. He never turns out to be quite amazing defensively, I'd say, but overall, as a ball-playing defender, he's a very complete centre-back, and it'll be hard to find a better one than him, to be honest, at his age. Only 17 years of age, and the great news about him is, and the great news about Hato is you can sign him for £10 million or less from Ajax at the start of FootballManager here. He's got a very, very high ceiling, as I said. Left-sided centre-back, you're not going to find much better than him at 17 years of age. So, Geraldo Hato at number 3. Number 2 in this list is the second goalkeeper to talk about, and that is Dennis Seaman, who currently plays for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. Only 17 years of age. It's very tough to pick between him and Restes, who is the biggest potential goalkeeper. I think Restes starts off as the better goalkeeper. Of course, he starts off as the number 1 for Toulouse, but Dennis Seaman has a massive, massive ceiling. He does turn out to be the number 1 at Stuttgart, but 1 or 2 seasons down the line, as you can imagine. And he's a giant of a goalkeeper as well. He's 6'4". As you can see, he's very well rounded. Of course, he needs a lot of development to get him to the standard where he can be a number 1 Premier League goalkeeper. But he has got a massive ceiling, Seaman. And if you can sign him, go out and sign him, because you get him very cheap as well. As you see from his value there, you should be able to sign him for less than £5 million. And goalkeepers are very hard to come by. So if you're looking for Restes, you can go for him. But the reason why Seaman is higher up in this list is because they've got a similar potential, in my opinion. And also you can sign Seaman for much cheaper than Restes. So if you've got £5 million laying about, go out there and sign Seaman. Well, time for the big reveal of this Wonderkid list. And number 1 is another Portuguese player, and his name is João Rigo. A very versatile player, 18 years of age. He can play on the left-hand side. He can play anywhere in the forward line, basically. His natural position is on the left wing and the attack midfield position as well. The reason why he's number 1 is, well, A, he's got a very, very high ceiling. He's very versatile as well, and you can sign him for less than £10 million from Benfica. As you can see, considered an emergency backup for Benfica, so get in and sign him very quickly because he's got a ridiculously high potential and he's very, very well rounded in terms of his physical, his technical and his mental attributes as well. Not quite one of the best Wonderkids at the start here, 18 years of age. He definitely needs a loan out or 2, that is for sure. He's not going to come straight into your team, that is for sure, and being so cheap, he is a must-sign Wonderkid. They're all must-sign Wonderkids for me. Obviously, some are more expensive than others, but João Rigo for £10 million or less, he is a player you need to get out and sign as quick as possible before Benfica realise what sort of gem they have on their hands here. So that is the end of this Wonderkid list, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, please hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out. And much appreciated. Also, I'd like to mention that, of course, in some of your careers, these Wonderkids will turn out to be not so good. Some of them will turn out to be better than others, but that is purely down to development and also to do with the hidden ability or hidden potential in your FM save as well. So, of course, for some of you, you might think João Rigo doesn't turn out to be that good, but believe me, if you get the right development for him, he can turn out to be a world-class player, as all the other 9 players can as well. So, thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you for the next one.